Of course. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Night Live. And I was muted, of course, because it's boomer time. Hey, it's January 10th, 2020. And good, you didn't hear me make a mistake before. I have a special guest, obviously, today. That would be Hard Bash from the Hard News Network. We're going to just talk about things that are happening in the world today. I'm glad you all are here. And we'll see you right after the intro here. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dawg studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, P. Dawg Knight. And the music's going to stop on its own this time. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I am so happy to have you all here. People jumping in the stream already. And I've got my special guest all the way from the East Coast because I'm in the upper Midwest. Our friend, the Hard Bastard from the Hard News Networks. Good morning, sir.
What's up? Thanks for having me.
Hey, I am excited that you're here. And, usually one of the first things I always do is say hi to the people in the chat. We'll do that real quick because there are some names that I haven't seen in here for a while. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, do all that stuff that you do. But say good morning, Necrosaw Collins, who is first. You get the bell. Good morning, Tyler F., Chicago Mike, Mad Max, Green Badger Outdoors, Maddie from the House of Geek, also known as the Maddie News Network, Grill and Pirate Pete, Roland Bear, RVA, Green Thunder, Demitis, Geograph, D.I. Freighter, who's a regular on both my show and Hard Bastard show, Irish Rose, Richo, Radically Moderate, that's a new name. Hey, subscribe, hit the bell, do that thing, What are some other names? Chicago Mike, there's a whole bunch of people on here. Oh, Willie Fisterbottom has already donated to the Streamlabs. Thank you for the $2.23. What does it say? Oh no, it doesn't say what it says. Hang on a second. Somebody named Willie Fisherbottom. Oh, Willie Fisterbottom. Coffee time, 223. Thank you for that super chat. And good morning to who else we got? Radically Moderate. No pressure. Yeah, I know. I forgot to hit that thing. Atomic Bomb Radio. Also, thank you, Atomic Bomb Radio, for retweeting all the tweets. I'll say hi to more people as we go along, but let's get into some of the news because there's a lot going on this week. In fact, why don't we, HB? Let's get into the story we were just talking about before the stream. So apparently, the House side of Congress has passed a resolution. Now, tell me what you know about it, HB.
I saw this morning it was non-binding.
And why are they passing a non-binding resolution? Here, I have it right here. Let's see. Hang on a second. I had it. Oh, here we go. Oh, well, no, actually, this is one of the Democrats voted against it, too. At least one.
Oh, really?
Democrat here. This is a Breitbart girl. We'll share it on the screen here. There you go there. All right. Let's go this side. Democratic Representative Max Rose was going to vote against the War Powers resolution. Army combat veteran and Congressman Max Rose from New York has released a statement breaking party lines to oppose Speaker Nancy Pelosi's War Power resolution. A statement published to Representative Rose's official feeds makes Representative Max Rose's case against what he characterized as an attempt to play politics with questions of war and peace. He, quote, "I know all too well the real cost of war, and sending troops into harm's way is the most consequential decision I could make. Unfortunately, today's War Powers resolution is a non-binding resolution that simply restates existing law and sends the message that war is imminent. I refuse to play politics with questions of war and peace, and therefore will not support the resolution." Good for him.
Yeah.
Let's see. So what if it's non-binding? What the hell are they doing? Okay, here, let's see. He also used the opportunity to turn the narrative back towards the role of the House, saying, quote, going forward, Congress must be proactive in living up to our constitutional duties to declare war and authorize the use of military force. This resolution is not that. I continue to believe the decades-old authorization for use of military force should be repealed and replaced with a framework that authorizes continued operations against global terrorists while properly constraining presidential war powers. You know what? I don't disagree with that at all.
Right.
You know, they basically, when they did this, was it was under Bush? Didn't they?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it basically, they basically gave up their constitutional authority. And you know what? So now that they've done it, and they've done it through two presidents, and now all they're doing is restating it, as Becca Fairley in the chat very aptly states, they're just posturing.
Yeah.
You know,
it's a publicity stunt, really. I mean, it doesn't seem like, what's the point of it?
You know, and basically it's okay, so it's a Trump bad resolution.
Yeah, pretty much. The weird thing is you have like the anti-war guys, you had Mike Lee, Republican, Matt Gaetz, Republican, and they came out to support it. But I would think that if they were serious, that they would point out that it's non-binding and they should actually work on something that would be an actual law.
Yeah, exactly. Now, here's how the New York Post, oh shoot, I just clicked the wrong click. Here we go. Why isn't this, hang on a second. Why isn't this doing this? Okay, I'm having technical difficulties. Okay, that's, God damn it. All right, sorry, gang. I'm having a couple technical difficulties, but I will fix it here in a second. All right, there we go. So here's how the New York Post has characterized it. Nancy Pelosi's pointless war powers ploy. Speaker Nancy Pelosi just pushed through a bill aiming to limit President Trump's ability to hit Iran, even though the crisis is over. That's the other part. It's over,
yeah.
At least technically. Although there's some new developments today. Iran says at the beginning, not the end. But anyway. Thursday's House passage of her war powers resolution is almost certainly pure symbolism. Nothing like this is going to pass the Senate. And even if it did, its constitutional status would be dubious. And events, including the president's actions, have shown that the fears that inspired the bill are unfounded. Democrats freaked out after Trump ordered the drone strike that killed Tehran's terrorist-in-chief Qasem Soleimani, with the left worrying seriously of World War III. Oh, by the way, I think we got up to World War VII.
Yeah,
since last Friday, seriously worrying of World War III in the offing. But Tehran's counterstrike was as wimpy as possible. Its leaders plainly signaled amid the usual tough talk that they are not looking to escalate, and Trump responded with his own olive branch. The other, I've been saying this too. When Trump came out and made his speech, basically explaining what was happening, and he said, Iran's missiles didn't hit anything. He didn't say those exact words, and we are not going to, we're not going to respond. I think he just gave him the opportunity to save face by throwing up some rockets.
Yeah.
What else could that be?
Yeah, I was relieved that he was offering diplomacy. I think it was reasonable. I think if there would have been American casualties, I don't know if he would have been able to do that. But fortunately, there wasn't. And I think it's the best case scenario that played out.
Yeah, I had a feeling, yes, Iran was making big noises, but I had a feeling that this was going to turn into nothing. I mean, if you really think about it. Oh, well, here's another thing, though. They also think that maybe, here's another story. This is on the Daily Wire that Trump reveals attack that Soleimani was planning that led to the drone strike. So this is their justification. Now, I find this may be dubious, but here's the thing. President Donald Trump revealed during a press conference on Thursday some details surrounding his decision to kill Iranian terrorist Qasem Soleimani.
I think I lost you there. What? Let's see. My screen's frozen. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Are you there?
But he said we also did it for other reasons that were very obvious. Somebody died. One of our military people died. People badly wounded just a week before, and we did it. Trump continued, and we had a shot at him, and I took it, and that shot was pinpoint accurate, and that was the end of the monster. Really, that was the second attack. We didn't start it. They started it by killing one of our people and wounding badly other of our peoples in classic Trump syntax. Okay, any idea what embassy he was talking about? Was the one in Baghdad, maybe?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
But this guy's been out there. I guess the frustrating thing. Obviously, the hate that comes from this is because it's Trump.
Yeah.
Because did anyone complain when we took out bin Laden? Now, bin Laden's a completely different animal, but
sure.
certain place where perhaps there is now slave auctions.
Yeah, Libya.
Yeah. And in fact, didn't Hillary Clinton say, what was Hillary Clinton's quote about that?
About the auctions or about Gaddafi?
No, about Gaddafi. Do you remember that?
Something like, we came, he died, or something like that. She was like gloating.
Yeah, we came, we saw, he died. I'm looking for that. I wonder if I can find that on Twitter.
I think that's what it was. We came, we saw, yeah.
We saw, he died. Let me see if I can find the video clip of that, because it's classic. And she's cackling, laughing about it. Here it is. I got it right here. And let's see. Let's do this. I got to change this now. Share screen with sound this time.
Just real quick, I had the screen like froze for like 30 seconds. So like if you ask me a question and you don't hear my answer, it's probably because it's frozen. But I'm good now.
No, I can hear you, and you heard me that whole time. Yeah, I saw where mine froze too. So here's Hillary Clinton discussing the killing of Muammar Gaddafi. Now, if anyone in our chat doesn't know, HB, explain who Muammar Gaddafi is.
He was basically like the bad guy who was the leader of Libya.
He's like the president of Libya, right?
Basically, yeah.
So that is a sovereign state.
Yeah.
He is a world leader. In fact, he's not the number 2 guy in a sovereign state, but he's the number 1 guy in a sovereign state. And this psychopath says, quote,
the land of unconfirmed.
Yes, we came, we saw, he died.
Did it have anything?
I look at her laughing.
Could you imagine if Trump said that?
and cackled afterwards?
It would have been incredible.
I just want to play this over and over and over.
I'm sure it did.
Here,
Yes, we came, we saw, he died.
and Leslie Stahl is just laughing right along with her.
Sure it did.
Unbelievable.
It's just incredible to me. And, was Gaddafi a bad guy? Sure.
Sure, yeah.
But they weren't selling slaves in Libya when he was alive.
That's the thing. I was thinking about this the other day. With a lot of these attempts at regime change, they were such disasters that it would have been better with Gaddafi, or in the case of Iraq, Saddam Hussein, being in there. Like Saddam Hussein and Gaddafi were better alternatives than what happened. It's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. So apparently now Iran has kind of changed their tune because they said that they were going to basically this was done as long as they weren't attacked, they weren't going to do anything else. Oh, in the chat, some of DI Freighter saying Gaddafi wanted to kill Bush Sr. over Kuwait, and that's why we took him out. I'm not necessarily saying that he was a good guy or that maybe there was a strategic reason to take him out. I'm just responding to the chat. But what I'm saying is there's no uproar.
Right.
There's no uproar. We don't have the former Secretary of State or whatever she was at the time saying he came, we saw he died, and then cackling, laughing as if, oh, somebody died.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's just, it sounds kind of psycho to me. And the other day when it was trending on Twitter, I voted for Hillary Clinton. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And Hillary Clinton tweeted it out. I voted for Hillary Clinton. God. Does anybody in their right mind think we wouldn't be at war right now?
I think we'd probably be at war with Russia.
With Russia? Where? In Syria, right?
Syria, yeah, because there's no fly zone she wanted to put there.
Yeah, she's talking about putting a no-fly zone. What the F? So he came, he saw, he died. Crazy. Anyway, so apparently this is from the Washington Free Beacon, though. Hang on a second. There we go. Now Iran, after those kind of dud bombs that they sent, missiles and whatever, and didn't hurt anybody, which is great. I'm glad nobody goes injured. I'm glad their early warning systems worked. But they said right after that, as long as nobody attacked them, they weren't going to be doing any more strikes. Well, apparently now Iran says the missile strikes marked the beginning of major operations across the Middle East. Top Iranian military figures on Thursday said the Islamic Republic's recent missile strikes on U.S. outposts and assets are, quote, the start of big operations, which will continue in the entire region. The missile strikes on one of the United States' most important bases within the framework of Martyr. Wait a minute. Okay. This is Iran saying,
"Oh, the Soleimani was a martyr."
Well, I'm laughing at they're saying that this is one of the United States' most important bases.
Okay.
Within the framework of Martyr
gotcha.
Soleimani. I'm pretty sure that base in Iraq is not one of our most important bases. Either of them. I mean, mostly because we only have about 5,000 people there, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So, and those two bases that they built are mostly, stationed by Iraqi military, and we're just kind of there because that's where we can stay. Mm-hmm. But I'm pretty sure that the bases in Saudi Arabia, in Qatar, where we usually, fly missions out of, are probably more important. But anyway, they say that it was the start of big operations, which will continue in the entire region, said General Amir Ali Hazadeh. I can't pronounce this shit either. Commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps, or the IRGC Aerospace Force. Iran's missile strike Wednesday on 2 American bases in Iraq is just the start of Tehran's new offensive posture, according to Hajizadeh. I got it there. The military leader's remarks are a sign that Tehran has no interest in de-escalating following President Trump's decision Wednesday to delay the launch of another U.S. attack on Iranian interests. Iran says its goal is to remove every single American troop from the region through targeted strikes across the Middle East. We were not after killing anyone, although tens of thousands. We were not after killing anyone, although tens of. That doesn't even make sense. I don't know if this is. I've been on a tear with the fact that internet editing sometimes is
rough. Yeah,
it's non-existent and sentences don't make sense.
Like,
on big sites. Yeah, it drives me nuts. Where you read a sentence, you go, that sentence makes no sense. So I'm just going to read it verbatim.
Sure.
We were not, after killing anyone, although tens of U.S. troops have likely been killed and wounded, and we were transferred to Israel and Jordan on 9 sorties of C-130 flights. Hajizadeh was quoted as saying in the country's state-controlled press. Okay, so maybe it's just because English is a second language. I don't know. The United States maintains that it has not suffered any casualties as a result of Iran's strikes. Now, you heard during this thing how MSNBC was saying that 30 servicemen were killed.
Yes, parroting the state television of Iran.
Parroting. Yeah, it's like
amazing.
That was just terrible. For my audience who maybe not be familiar with Hard Bastard, by the way, in the description down below, let me turn this thing off here. In the description down below, Hard Bastard's YouTube channel and his Twitter, and he has an archive of all his streams that he does daily. He takes his streams off of YouTube. We'll talk about that a little later. So, but all his contact information is in the description down below. Anyway, so Iranian leaders have claimed to have drawn up high casualty operations that could lead to the deaths of at least 500 U.S. military personnel in the first step within 48 hours. The Iranian military claims it could kill 4,000 to 5,000 Americans. So, and they've actually lobbed a couple more missiles since that operation. I'm not going to read any more of that one. So they say this is the beginning. What do you think?
Hopefully they're just talking shit, and because generally, like Iran and North Korea, they have a tendency to be very verbose. If they actually attack again, that's a very tough situation because you can't do nothing. But on the other hand, anything you do is going to increase the chance of a war. The people arguing that we shouldn't be in Iraq in the first place are right. But we're there. That's the problem. So hopefully they're just talking shit.
Well, the other part of that, that's what I've been saying too. Why don't we just get the F out of there?
Yeah.
At least Afghanistan and Iraq. What do we need in there? I mean, obviously we have a relationship with Saudi Arabia. We have a relationship with Qatar, a couple other countries in the region where we have bases that we've had for a long time. Iran's not going to try to run us out of Saudi Arabia. And the only thing, I suppose, if they decide that they're going to pull out of Iraq and Afghanistan, does that become, a rooster crow for Iran saying, "Oh, we scared them out of here"?
They probably would say something like that.
But do you give a shit?
Right, exactly. I think you just got to bring them home. I guess it's the choice. You have to bring them home, or they're going to be there forever. I mean, like when do you call an end to it? I mean, what has to be accomplished for? I guess at least have like a set goal to achieve or a time limit, and then if you don't achieve it, come home. But it's just it's what 2003, right? So we're looking at 16, 17 years.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
I think the only war that's lasted longer is the Korean War, which is that was still going on, but in theory.
Right.
So one of the other features that usually happens when we start talking about foreign policy regarding the prior administration, apparently there's a video out that, it's here. I'll just put it on the screen here. It says video busts Obama administration over connection between the money they gave and terrorism. Because remember the other day, Trump in his little address to the nation was saying, we gave them money and that money is funding many of the operations that they have been doing. Well, Recent events in Iran have brought to light the failed policy of the Obama administration, the deal they signed with Iran. Under the deal, Obama was going to hand over $100 billion to Iran dollars. However, only $1.7 billion was flown over to Iran in pallets in the dead of night. A new video has emerged showing former Secretary of State John Kerry admitting that the money they are going to give Iran will end up in the hands of terrorists.
Oh my God.
Here's the video. Let's see this real quick.
Just to put a fine point on it, do you believe that any of that $55 billion ends up in the hands of terrorists?
I think that some of it will end up in the hands of the IRGC or of other entities, some of which are labeled terrorists.
I love the dancing around of the terrorism label by Warren, John Kerry. That's incredible. Wow.
Labeled terrorist.
Oh, my goodness.
This wasn't the only video that is torching Obama's failed policy over Iran. On Tuesday night, Senator Ted Cruz unloaded on the Obama administration. Cruz was happy that no United States military personnel was hurt, but fumed that the Obama administration paid for the missiles that attacked our military posts. So let's see. Here's Ted Cruz on this same subject.
If you look at Iran policy, I think you've seen a dramatic shift. Under Barack Obama, as you noted, the policy was appeasement. The policy under the disastrous Iranian nuclear deal under Obama was to give over $100 billion to Iran. They literally flew $1.7 billion in cash and unmarked bills on pallets in the dead of night into Iran. In a very real sense, the missiles that we saw fired on U.S. servicemen and women tonight were paid for by the billions that the Obama administration flooded the Ayatollah with.
I'm sorry, I accidentally clicked. I got distracted on the would you date an Asian woman in St. Paul? That's interesting. Very unnecessary. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, how can they say that none of that money went towards
that's crazy
continuing operations? I mean, what else, anyway. And then finally, Susan Rice.
Oh God.
If you know that if Susan Rice is coming out to talk about something, there's a pretty good chance it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Oops, there we go. Susan Rice was a little less ubiquitous this time around than during her infamous 5 talk show world tour, repeating the lie that the Benghazi terrorist attack was the fault of an inflammatory video and not due to the criminal negligence of President Barack Hussein Obama and Secretary of State Hillary Rodham Clinton. But there she was again on MSNBC's Rachel Maddow's Comedy Hour. This is how it's written.
Oh, that's good. I like that. That's
her Comedy Hour, defending her former boss, this time against charges that President Trump cleaned up more of Obama's Iran mess by terminating the life and reign of terror Iranian general and Quds Force commander Qasem Soleimani. The Obama administration wasn't presented with the opportunity to take out General Qasem Soleimani. Oh my God. Who was killed by a U.S. airstrike in Baghdad early Friday. Former National Security Advisor Susan Rice said on Friday night, quote, "Had we been presented with such an opportunity, what we would have done is weigh very carefully and very deliberately the risk versus the potential rewards," Rice told MSNBC's, as in Ms. Nobody Cares News, Rachel Maddow. Rice questioned whether Trump made the right decision. Quote, "So if in fact the administration can be believed that there was indeed a strong intelligence of an imminent threat against the United States that's being carried out by Soleimani and related militia, then the question becomes, was there more than one way to address that threat?" she told Maddow. What other way would you deal with it? If he was leading a specific strike, what would that be? What the hell is she talking about?
She's saying that Obama would not drone strike someone. I mean,
it would be the first time he wouldn't drone strike someone.
I mean,
they did 2,800 separate drone strike
Yeah.
missions during his administration. They didn't hesitate to take out the little American dude, right? Or whatever
and his son.
Yeah.
I forget the guy's name.
Yeah, I don't remember. Anyway, so she continued. Was the only way to deal with it to kill Soleimani? Certainly, given his history and track record, he deserves his just rewards. But the question is, does that serve our interests? This is incredible. Does that make us more secure? They continue. Yes, it does, Susan. the Trump administration is certainly more believable than you and the Obama administration was in explaining why 4 Americans were abandoned to die in Benghazi, including Ambassador Christopher Stevens. But because Trump killed Soleimani, was Soleimani involved in that at all?
I don't know.
A link?
I don't know.
I mean, but I know he was. I mean, he's done shit in Lebanon. I mean, he was part of the bombing in Lebanon, wasn't he? I mean, he's got his fingers in a lot of these things.
I think a lot of the attacks of 2019 in Iraq, he was part of. So, I mean, so Susan Rice is asking whether or not this makes America safer, but they were drone striking people and also using the double tap technique where, when the ambulances come, they hit them again and kill the people that were trying to help. And did she apply the same question if that made us safer? I mean, are you kidding me?
Right? It's just crazy. And then, I lost my train of thought there. Never mind. God, I'm speechless right now. Just that whole thought process. The fact that how many drone strikes did they do?
Yeah, I think like 2,800 or something like that.
And again, you took out a number one of a country, because you thought he was, he was threatening a former president of the United States from Libya. From Libya. He was going to kill George H.W. Bush. He can talk all his game he wants.
Yeah.
But anyway. All right. So let's see. Let's change gears a little bit.
Sure.
Let's talk impeachment.
Okay.
Apparently, Nancy Pelosi, with the very, very urgent, very extremely urgent impeachment. Fix that. I'll send them over to the Senate when I'm ready.
Oh my God.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Democrat shitstain from shitstain, during her weekly press conference Thursday, said she's not holding back the 2 articles of impeachment approved against Donald Trump last month indefinitely. A reporter asked the speaker, "Are you holding the articles indefinitely?" No, I'm not holding them indefinitely. I'll send them over when I'm ready. That will probably be soon, she replied. here's the tape.
Okay.
No, I'm not holding indefinitely.
Oh, I can't hear it.
And that will probably be soon. I don't.
Here, let's try it.
No, I'm not holding indefinitely. I'll send them over when I'm ready. And that will probably be soon. I don't. He said, if you don't send them over, I'm going to pass the Mexico-U.S. Canada trade agreement. Okay. But no, we want to see what they're willing to do and the manner in which they will do it. But we will not let them say, oh, this is just like Clinton's fair share. It's not.
You don't have a choice. You don't have a choice.
Documentation, witnesses, facts.
Oh my God.
That's what they're afraid of.
Now, here's what also fascinates me about this. Well, first of all, I noticed this morning Power Trip was trending on Twitter, and I thought it was going to be something about Pelosi, but it was about something completely different. But anyway, what choice does she have? Why does she think she has leverage?
So the other day I saw Time Magazine claimed that she got the idea from watching CNN, that John Dean from, the Nixon impeachment, that he had the idea. Lawrence Tribe also had the idea. That was MSNBC. And she said that she got the idea from or Time said she got the idea from Dean, and the philosophy is that if you don't hand the articles over to the Senate, he's forever impeached, that's just not how it works. But that seems to be the thinking. Although I do expect her to transmit them. I cannot imagine they would, because there would be mutiny among Democrats if she doesn't transmit them.
But the impeached part, it's already done.
Yeah.
Even if they dismiss it, he was still impeached. It just was dismissed
by the House. Yeah, right, exactly.
So it doesn't matter if she holds him or not.
Right.
But here's I think what's happening. I think she is going to try to hold them through the State of the Union.
Yeah.
It's because it's clearly just a political ploy.
Sure.
Okay. And and it's because they don't think at least when they started this, they had no inkling that they could win this next election. I don't think they believe they can. Yeah. I don't think they believe they can have Bernie Sanders beat Trump, because he's so far on the progressive end that middle of America is not, or the middle is not going to vote for him.
Yeah.
Joe Biden is such a goofball that he's going to say something, at least 15 stupid things between now and the election. So even though some people like him, nope, he can't win. Elizabeth Warren can't win. That's just
I don't see how. I don't see how.
Like if you listen to H.A. Goodman, he says Hillary Clinton's going to jump back in.
I hope so.
I in a way I do, but she can't win either.
No, I want to see her suffer again. I want to see the circus that would cause. That would be incredible.
Oh, the Democratic Party would just
be amazing.
It would be insane. And there's too many people who now, she got the nomination finally after, what is the third time's a charm? Well, not third time. She didn't really do it in 2012, but she would have liked to. Her what's it called, the tour of excuses that she made.
Yes.
I would just run clips of her making excuses.
Yeah, they have great sound bites especially you could start it with Obama saying that you can't rig an election. And I think she I don't remember what she said publicly, but around the time where that was the media narrative, that Donald Trump was crazy for talking about a rigged election, or that it was unconstitutional when he said that he might not accept the election results. I imagine there's sound bites of her saying those exact things, and you could just play those off each other. It would be great.
Yeah, I agree. It just it would be classic. I don't know. So McConnell has responded a little bit to Pelosi. McConnell says Democrats can't trap us into unending Groundhog Day of impeachment without resolution. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell warned House Democrats on Thursday that we senators and the American people have lost patience with Speaker Nancy Pelosi's failure to send the articles of impeachment over for trial. They do not get to trap our entire country into an unending Groundhog Day of impeachment resolutions. Here is the Speaker, or the whatever, what do they call the Senate? Senate Majority Leader. Mm-hmm. Oh, a little clip from MRC. Now, I'm just going to warn you, chat. I am not slowing this down.
Because this is not just...
All right, are you back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. All right, here we go. Sorry about that, guys.
No problem.
I don't know if that's I can't tell if that's my internet connection or if that's I'm wired though right now. Anyway, here we go.
What has really happened over the last 3 weeks? What has happened? When you take a step back from the political noise and the pundits discussing leverage,
of which she has none.
Yeah, absolutely.
a way that never existed, what have House Democrats actually done? This, Madam President, is what they have done. They have initiated one of the most grave and most unsettling processes in our
Okay, we're back again. I'm not gonna play this. I think that might be the problem.
Are you getting the freeze frame or the frozen screen as well?
Yeah, where to get the little circle thing going in a circle.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Part of it is I don't have a graphics card in this computer, and so some of it just wears out. Anyway, let's just go. I'll just read it because here's the part that I wanted you to hear. This Madam President is what they here. I'll do my Mitch McConnell. This Madam President is what they have done. They have initiated one of the most grave and unsettling processes in our Constitution, and then refused to allow a resolution of it. The Speaker began something that she herself predicted would be so divisive to this country, and now she is unilaterally saying it cannot move forward to resolution. It's bad enough that House Democrats gave into the temptation of subjective impeachment that every previous House for 230 years had managed to resist. However unwise, that is their constitutional prerogative. They get to start if they choose, but they do not get to declare that it can never be finished. They do not get to trap our entire country into an unending Groundhog Day of impeachment without resolution.
You know, they can they've threatened to do more articles of impeachment. So like he's right as far as when they vote on impeachment and that's resolved, that they have to transmit them to the Senate, but they could keep just throwing out articles of impeachment and impeaching him multiple times.
Well, I know that's what they're threatening to do.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, do you think that there's some other people out there? I'm trying to think who they are. Oh yeah, the American people.
Yeah.
Do you think the American people will notice what you're doing?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I mean, especially when before Inauguration Day, there was at least 10 Democrats in Congress saying we need to impeach him.
Before anything even came out.
I think I think that would be devastating to them.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're thinking if they think that's going to work. So I know. And again, this was so urgent, you know. Oh, the other thing too, you know, they're fighting over whether or not Bolton is going to testify, because Bolton said, you know, that he'd be willing to testify in front of the Senate, yada yada yada. But it's like, you know, you're supposed to, in the impeachment part, or at least the trial is supposed to be based on the evidence that the House has already got.
Right.
So now they're talking about, well, maybe they'll have more hearings and they'll subpoena John Bolton. Maybe you should have done that shit in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't want to wait for the courts to resolve whether or not he has to testify. So now he says he wants to testify. But the thing with this is you're not going to get any sort of legitimate impeachment and removal unless someone testifies that a crime took place. Now, if John Bolton does that, at a Senate hearing, he's also incriminating himself, because the obvious question will be, why didn't you, if you thought a crime took place, why didn't you tell anyone? There's like procedures in place. If you witness a crime, you have to do something about it. You can't just cover it up. So the idea that he would somehow be a game changer is preposterous.
Well, yeah. What, and the question in the chat, what exactly is Bolton going to say? Like you just said, yeah. If he suddenly, oh, well, I knew this crime was committed, but I didn't say anything and I didn't want to testify. Oh,
Crazy.
Really?
Just no way.
Was this not important to you, sir?
The best thing he'll do is paint a very broad or a very detailed picture of a media crime that took place. But that's not actually a crime, and that's not actually going to get the Republicans to remove Trump. So it'll be like headlines, basically.
So now, too, Nancy Pelosi's strategy is starting to inflict a little pain on the Democrats. Democrats in disarray over Pelosi's impeachment strategy. The unified support among Democrats for House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's impeachment strategy has cracked, with leading Senate Democrats publicly urging Pelosi to advance the articles of impeachment, and signs that her own caucus is losing patience as well. A group of top Democratic senators went to reporters Wednesday to urge Pelosi to end her 3 weeks. It's been 3 weeks. This was urgent. How do you not do this for 3 weeks? To end her 3-week attempt to influence how the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell handles the impeachment trial. If we're going to do it, she should send them over, said fellow Californian Dianne Feinstein, whose message was echoed by Senators Richard Blumenthal, Chris Murphy, Joe Manchin, and Angus King. Early Thursday morning, the calls appeared to have spread to the House when Representative Adam Smith from Washington was asked about the complaints from senators and said it was time for Pelosi to end the impasse. Quote, "At the end of the day, just like we control it in the House, Mitch McConnell controls it in the Senate," Smith said before backtracking hours later because somebody gave him a phone call probably, saying he misspoke.
How do you misspeak that position? That's ridiculous.
I said it, but I misspoke. I meant to say, at the end of the day, we control it in the House, and Nancy Pelosi has an iron gavel she should hit Mitch McConnell in the head with.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say. I didn't say that McConnell controls the Senate. Anyway, also Representative Patrick Maloney, Democrat in New York, appeared unwilling to voice an opinion on Pelosi's strategy, saying she doesn't need my help second-guessing her decisions, even though I'm second-guessing her decisions. All right.
I was surprised to see Feinstein come out and say something. That's I find that very entertaining, because I would think that if she was on board, I mean, obviously, if she was on board with this, she wouldn't have said anything. I think they realize I think a lot of the Democrats are completely insane, but some of them, I think, do at least have the ability to be politicians still. And I think some of them realize that your own base is, because first of all, you have all these people walking around thinking that Trump is actually going to be removed from office, that he's been impeached. And then time goes by and they're like, well, why is he still president? And then if they're able to, or at least Republicans are able to, use the narrative that it never went to the Senate because of Nancy Pelosi, there's no way they're going to let that stand. So this is a tactic that has an expiration date. I do agree. I think it will be after the State of the Union, so they can kind of get some headlines that, an impeached president gives the State of the Union or whatever.
Well, that and then the reactions.
Right.
They'll get their Democratic sound bites after the State of the Union. Well, this was an impeached president. This was an impeached president, and he can't. We are going to take a look when we're going to send the part of the impeachment over.
Yeah, I wonder who they're going to get to do the response. It's usually, sometimes they get people, and so I think the wasn't there like a Kennedy guy that had glistening lips, and people were like, what the hell?
Oh yeah. And he looked like he was wearing too much lip balm.
Yeah. And then, the other one, I don't think it was a response to State of the Union, but it was when Rubio with the water, but I don't think that had to do with State of the Union. But usually it's like a freak show when they do a response. So that'll be great.
That was Obama's State of the Union with Rubio in the water bottle. He kept drinking water in the middle of his
was it? Oh, okay.
response.
Holy shit.
And you know what? If they haven't sent those over by the State of the Union, I hope Trump just blasts them to their. I hope Trump pulls a Ricky Gervais and
that'd be awesome,
just blast the shit out of him. You know,
that would be great. Now, McConnell, and I saw Lindsey Graham talking about this. They're considering changing, because they can make the rules in the Senate. They're considering changing the rules to basically remove Pelosi from the equation and just have the trial, or I think they might even just not necessarily have a trial and just dismiss it.
Well, and I think there already is a motion to dismiss it. In fact, I saw that. Let's see. Hang on a second here.
Oh, yeah, was that Hawley? I think
Hawley. Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, here it is. Let's see. Senate Leader McConnell joined Senator Hawley's resolution to dismiss impeachment articles. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has joined forces with 12 other Republicans to co-sponsor a resolution introduced by Senator Josh Hawley, Republican Missouri, to dismiss the articles of impeachment approved by the House Democrats last month. A press release issued by Hawley's office Thursday revealed that the Senate Majority Leader has signed on to the resolution to allow for the dismissal of the articles of impeachment against President Donald Trump for failure to prosecute, adding, quote, "The Hawley rule has gained momentum." Oh, wait, what? Okay, yeah. The Hawley rule has gained momentum since its introduction on Monday. Leader McConnell joins 12 other co-sponsors, including, it just tells all the co-sponsors there.
Sure.
In a move described as unprecedented. That's, you know what? Anytime I see that word, unprecedented, I always go and check it out. There was something about how the wildfires in Australia were unprecedented. If you look at the history of wildfires in Australia, it's very not unprecedented. Anyway, in a move described as unprecedented by Republican lawmakers, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Oh, I see. They're saying her move is unprecedented. Yeah, that is unprecedented because there's only been 3 of these. Yeah. Nancy Pelosi is holding hostage to the articles of impeachment, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, we know all that. So anyway, Hawley has moved to dismiss. And you know what? Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It's been 3 weeks. If it goes another week, say, you know what? Dismiss. It's like
from an entertainment standpoint, I want to see a trial. However, if they just dismiss this, I that's reasonable. I understand that. This whole thing is bullshit. And I think, you know what? This is the problem with a trial. And if it's long, I think it's disrespectful to the American public, because a lot of people know that there's no basis here. And so it's just going to cost money and waste time. So dismissing it immediately, I do think I understand why they would want to do that. And even if they dismiss it immediately, if Lindsey Graham stays true to his word and has Giuliani come after the Senate trial or the Senate dismissal or whatever, and has him testify about what he found about Hunter and Joe Biden, I'll be fine with that. I hope he does that.
That would be beautiful.
That
would be beautiful. It's funny how they don't want to hear about Hunter Biden.
No.
That is not good for Joe Biden. No. I don't care. You know what? I don't care how you look at it. Because also then you go, oh, wait a minute. Nancy Pelosi's kid's over there too?
Yeah.
John Kerry's kid was over there too?
Yep.
Mitt Romney's kid was over there too? Oh my, what the? It's the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. I'm surprised Meghan McCain's not over there.
Yeah. It's one of the reasons I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't have it, because like Lindsey Graham is like Jekyll and Hyde. Sometimes he's really good, sometimes he's awful. And so, it could be that they don't want anyone to get exposure and they won't do it. But hopefully it happens.
Right. All right. Let's go to a new topic here.
Sure.
Spygate.
Yes.
Apparently, there are some new details. Now, I haven't read this, so I'm just going from the beginning here. News details about meeting FBI source suggests Carter Page was a setup. Oh, really? Shocker.
It's stunning.
Yesterday's exclusive at the Federalist revealing that Carter Page first met Stephen Halper at a small dinner at Magdalene College in Cambridge triggered an immediate response from Svetlana Lokova, the Russian-born British citizen who sued Halper last year for defamation for branding her a Russian spy. Magdalene College was Halper's college. Lokova tweeted, adding that he held a lifetime fellowship there. This added detail raises even more questions concerning the mid-July encounter between Halper and then Donald Trump campaign advisor Page. Given what we know from the Inspector General Michael Horwitz's investigation into the four-page Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, otherwise known as FISA, applications. We know from Horwitz's report that the FBI tasked Halper, identified solely as source 2 to target Page, campaign advisor George Papadopoulos, and a high-level Trump campaign member, Sam Clovis. And we know the IG's report concluded that the FBI had not used any confidential human sources prior to the July 31st, 2016 launch of Crossfire Hurricane. These facts made Halper's mid-July encounter with Page at a conference in the United Kingdom suspicious. The added fact that Halper met Page not during the conference proper, but at a small dinner gathering to kick off the conference seemed even more suspect now that we know Halper wasn't a mere fellow dinner guest at the gathering, but was instead sitting abreast the table at his own college. It screams setup. One wonders, otherwise, what would prompt one of the limited number of seats at the welcome dinner to be allocated to Page, given the number of dignitaries and distinguished attendees in town for what was billed as a major international conference focusing on the 2016 U.S. presidential election and implications that this will have for future U.S. foreign policy. So did Halper have a hand in extending an invite to Page for this private dinner gathering in order to forge a connection with the campaign advisor? He seems to have had the clout to make that call as one of only 10 life fellow faculty members of the college, an apparent substantial donor of Magdalene College, and a member of the college's Buckingham Society, which is reserved to those who have arranged bequests to Magdalene. So apparently he was setting this up way in advance.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what this is saying? I think I'm getting this out of this. One also wonders whom, besides Halper and Page, attended this intimate dinner gathering. The confirmed speakers for that event, including the keynote speaker, former U.S. Secretary of State Madeleine Albright. I wonder how much she knows about this.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Former head of MI6, Sir Richard Dearlove, some spies, gentleman ambassador to UK, Peter Ammon, the British former defense, and blah, blah. Okay, these people. I'm going to skip that. Albright and Dearlove may be the obvious names of interest, but Vin Weber shouldn't be overlooked. He was the featured speaker at the conference and billed at the time as a Republican strategist, although he would later profess that he couldn't imagine remaining a Republican if Trump becomes president. Oh,
fascinating.
Sounds like a never Trumper to me.
Yeah.
And promised that if my vote decided the election, I would vote for Hillary Clinton over Donald Trump. Apparently he got well, this is of course this next sentence is apropos, because if you know anything about Vin Weber, Weber's disdain for Trump later took an ironic turn when he became entwined in the lobbying scandal that sent Trump's former campaign chair Paul Manafort and Manafort's business partner Rick Gates to prison for illegally lobbying on behalf of the Ukraine government. Oh, Vin Weber was involved in that? Can't imagine.
What a coincidence.
So anyway, it looks like they were setting up Carter Page a little bit before that initial contact, supposedly, or before the Crossfire Hurricane investigation started. Anyway, that was another one of those.
Yeah, it looks like this is going to come down to what Durham finds. I read an article earlier today that the Huber investigation looks like nothing. No one's being held accountable. It's early reports, but that's basically what the early report is. That Bill Clinton, there's nothing there, according to Huber. So this is going to come down to Durham, and does he deliver like one indictment, at least one? We'll see.
You gotta think so. The fact that he opened his mouth when the IG report came out, I I think that has to have found something.
You would think
to act. 'Cause, it's kind of like when with all that rush up about who's the lawyer for Trump that's in jail now.
Cohen.
Yeah. When Cohen, they were saying that Cohen had set up some meeting, and Mueller actually came out and said, no, that was not true.
Yeah.
It coming out because something that's just blatantly wrong.
Yeah.
And so Durham, that's what I think Durham did too. It's like, no evidence that what was the no evidence thing
of like bias, political bias.
They have no evidence of bias. And Durham comes out and says, well, they don't have any evidence of bias, but
we do. Yeah.
it didn't say we did, but it certainly implied that, guess what we have?
Yeah.
Evidence. Or that bias affected the investigation. And how could it not? Of course, the IG's report is not designed to make accusations.
Right. And the media really spinned it. Now, Horowitz allowed the media to spin it. He didn't really push back until it was way too late. But it was the way that it like the rules are is that he can't. If someone says there's no bias and they don't have evidence that there is, they can't do anything. And so it wasn't really that they had evidence that there was no bias. They just didn't have evidence that there was. And so the media, of course, ran with that. But again, he wasn't helpful at all outside of a few, interactions in the hearing. And then afterwards, he said that at like a second hearing. I think it was a closed door hearing.
Okay. All right. So now I'm going to just do a few one-liners before we check out Twitter trends.
Sure.
Just some headlines that are out there. Bombshell book to reveal how Bribham family, Biden, siphoned millions of taxpayer cash. Hunter Biden, just the tip of the iceberg. Have you heard anything about that?
No. What's the outlet?
This is a Breitbart. In fact,
Okay.
here, I can pull it up here. I'll just read the kind of the lead
Sure.
here. A forthcoming bombshell book from publishing giant HarperCollins will reveal how 5 members of Joe Biden's family, the Biden Five, siphoned tens of millions of dollars in taxpayer cash and guaranteed loans. And the recent scandals involving Joe and Hunter Biden, Ukraine, and Burisma are just the tip of the iceberg, says sources close to the publisher. HarperCollins, that's not a small publishing house. That's not that's a major publishing house.
There'll probably have to be a media narrative over this. They'll probably have to spin it.
Yeah. Publisher HarperCollins has the book under strict embargo until its January 21st release. So that's 11 days.
Yeah.
Sources with knowledge of its content says the book will upend official Washington, similar to the way the Schweitzer's past works like Clinton Cash and Secret Empires did when he broke the Uranium One and Biden Burisma scandals. That's the only problem is they'll pass it off as, Schweitzer.
Right-wing conspiracy theories and stuff.
Yeah. But, Clinton Cash wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
and
pretend that it's BS.
And there really is a Burisma scandal.
Yeah.
Other headlines. Let's see. Okay, so my aggregator that I use is Ace of Spades blog, and he has nicknames for everybody.
Okay.
So Brofo Omar. Religious fundamentalists are currently trying to manipulate state laws in order to impose their beliefs on an entire society. Now, I don't even have to read the article. I'm sure she's talking about maybe things like Christians and abortion and things like that.
Probably.
But do you think maybe she might be the wrong spokesman for that particular train of thought?
Yeah.
Let's see. Justice Sotomayor sends best wishes best wishes to new progressive prosecutor tied to Hugo Chavez.
Oh, God.
Send her a candygram. Hey, here's something. Have you heard anything about this? Where apparently Open Society, that organization, which is basically a Soros
Yeah.
cash dump, has been basically feeding the campaigns of ultra progressive, like district attorney type races around the country, like the one in Chicago that's that let Jussie Smollett go, put $400,000 into her campaign. The guy in Dallas who says they're no longer going to prosecute people who do property crimes of less than $750. All over the place.
Yeah, they did one in Philly. They successfully got a guy in Philly.
Krasner, is that his name?
I don't know his name.
That's what Francis in the chat says.
Okay, yeah. So that's crazy.
Yeah, and so because I'm hearing about this more and more, where there'll be some place where they say, like, that thing in Dallas just blew me away. Oh, well, you know what? If the property crime's less than $750, we're not going to prosecute. And they do the same thing in San Francisco. Because it's funny because I was reading about somebody who there was a thing, and someone was being interviewed that was talking about, well, if someone does this, would you prosecute them? Nope. If someone shits in the street, would you prosecute them?
Oh,
nope.
Yeah. It was like the police chief or someone from the police.
How about indecent exposure? Would you prosecute them? Nope. If they stole, a bunch of clothes from a store, would they be prosecuted? Nope. And that's happening in a lot of places, and they're getting these people. Now Fox in Chicago, I think she's screwed.
Yeah, isn't that where like the people investigating her, like Google handed over like a whole bunch of information on Smollett?
On Smollett, yes, they're a year's worth of his searches and anything that he communications via Google, which is a little scary in some ways.
Sure.
But it's in a case at least where they believe there's a crime at least. I just, but and the fact that Google already does it for their own purposes, right, and Facebook and all these, social media places do it already. But yeah, that is scary. The broken windows policy in New York City when Giuliani came in, and it actually worked. Now they did some things that were kind of sketchy, but still, I mean, I think you get too many of these district attorneys like this where they're not going to prosecute shit. That's not a good idea.
No, it's chaos. That's absolute chaos.
Terrible idea. Anyway, all right. What else? Other headlines. Huge victory for the president. Appeals court says Trump can use military construction funds for the border wall. $3.6 billion in additional funding. That one. So isn't that the one? So one judge put an injunction on it, and then one district said, nope, you can't do that. They struck it down. And then a new judge in New Orleans did the same thing. And so now the new district, I can't remember which, it's the 11th, I think, Judicial District Court of Appeals has, here, I'll just pull it up so I can know what I'm talking about here. The 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals issued an order Wednesday allowing the Trump administration to use military construction funds for the southern border wall, handing the president another major immigration victory. The order reverses a federal judge's injunction last month that blocked the administration from using What the fuck happened there? Oh, jeez. It's an ad.
Oh, okay.
Sprint ad popped up. Okay. It reverses a federal judge's injunction last month that blocked the administration from using $3.6 billion funds to build the wall. President Donald Trump attempted to access the military funds last year by declaring a national emergency on the southern border. The Fifth Circuit noted in its order that in July, the Supreme Court ruled that the administration may reprogram $2.5 billion in Pentagon funds earmarked to counter drug efforts to build the wall. The court also questioned if the plaintiffs, the city of El Paso, and the Border Network for Human Rights have standing to sue the president. So, and Trump's happy about that. They're going to keep going to new judges, though.
Yeah.
And they're going to keep going Okay, we're back.
Okay, cool.
God, this is frustrating.
I
I'm
caught the
upgrading.
part-
I'm upgrading this computer this week. So
Sure. I caught the last part I caught was that they're going to go to new judges.
Well, there's they just keep going to new judges.
Yeah.
And it's it's really, really crazy. I don't know. Hey, quick commercial though, because now it's time for Twitter Trends. Is something that we do every day. See what's happening on Twitter, so we know what people are going to be talking about for the rest of the day, and know what people are going to be making videos about tomorrow. But before we do that, just for those of you who are new here, welcome to the Morning Night Live. We're here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. On Fridays, some Fridays we'll have Dog Park Friday, where we bring in guests, like we have the venerable Hard Bastard today. And if you are not already subscribed, please click the subscribe button below, click the bell. And if you're watching this after the fact, let us know you're here by putting something in the comment section down below. Welcome all my new visitors. This is probably one of the largest streams we've had this year. And awesome. If you'd like to do be a part of the show for sure, you can always do super chats, but not through Google, because I'm not at that 1,000 subscriber threshold yet. But I do have a Streamlabs that you can find in the description down below, and it pops up in the chat every once in a while. You can also follow me at PDogKnight on Twitter and other places like Minds and Gab. Also, for my guest, Hard Bastard, his information is in the description down below. If you're not already subscribed to him, I strongly suggest you do. He does streams Monday through Saturday. Some are in the evening, some are during the day. But if you subscribe to his channel, you will get notified. So there you go. All right. Real quick, let's check out what's happening in the world of Twitter. By the way, before that I do that, thank you so much. There's some people who've been retweeting the show. Somebody called F09047075. That's their Twitter handle. Thank you for retweeting the show. Also, Nicholas Carpenter, Marsupial Gamer, Dave is in Drayden's One, Jack Cochran, the Jack Cochran, my friend from another stream that I hang out with. Also, HB did it for me. HB meaning Hard Bastard, the guy I'm talking to on the other side of this screen here. Drew Sefvold, Atom Bomb Radio, Dar RVA, that's my buddy, Necrosaw Collins, Becca Fairley. Thank you, all of you, for retweeting the stream. Everyone in the chat, if you would be so kind, you can hit the share button, or you can follow me on Twitter again at PDogKnight, and you can be a great help. I'm going to try to get to 1,000 subscribers by July, so that when my wife and I go on our road trip, we can stream from the road. So anyway, moving on. Real quick, we're going to check out what's trending on Twitter, because we do that every day just to find out, like I said, what people are going to be talking about later, or what they're talking about now, or what you're going to see videos about later in the day. Every once in a while, though, I have to skip certain topics, because if it has something to do with K-pop, which every morning there's at least 2 or 3 K-pop related things, I just skip them. All right, moving on. Number one trending on, and also we get weekday things every day on Twitter, in the morning especially, because my show's in the morning. I get a lot of K-pop, and I always get those things that related to today. And number one trending today is Friday feeling. So what I usually do is we look at the top one and see what it is, and if it's something good, well, there we go. Baby Yoda's number one. So how does that make you feel, HB?
Yeah, whatever, Baby Yoda. I'm kind of off Star Wars after the new trilogy. I just can't. I can't do it.
Yeah, I can't. Although I hear this particular series, Mandalorian, kind of gets the feeling. So I get a free Disney Plus subscription with my Verizon phone. But I haven't activated yet. But I think that would maybe be the reason I would activate it. Let's see if there's anything good. Oh, and usually there's always HP. If you do this, if you follow me on this once in a while, there's always what we call the Twitter trend thought.
Oh yes.
Or the alternative name is #ho.
That's fantastic.
Now this isn't exactly one of those. This let's see, her Friday feeling is if you okay, this, she must be English as a second language. If you not have a great day, Alexa Bliss smile will make you feel better to start the day. I hope everyone have a great Friday and awesome weekend. I'm going to assume that Alexa is Ukrainian, Russian, something like that, because that's that syntax. Okay, so there aren't any really good Friday feelings, so we're just going to move on. Army, stay tuned. That is absolutely K-pop. No, we've already done a Friday, so 3 and 4 are Friday thoughts and Friday motivation. I don't need any motivation. I think Baby Yoda was a motivation enough. But number 5, HB, I think you can relate to this. I am non-binary.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
It's the hashtag. I am non-binary. Apparently there's a non-binary flag. The top one is, oh, by the way, and please do not contact any of the people we do on Twitter Trends. This is for entertainment purposes only, and I don't want to be accused of dogpiling anybody on the internet. So please, if you must comment on somebody's thing you find on here, leave me out of it. Okay. I am non-binary. Just a reminder that not all NB folks with an X fall into an androgynous category. Some of us inherently look more masc or femme, but that doesn't invalidate our gender expression. Celebrate your identity however you see fit, and fuck the people that refuse to understand. Well, here's the thing. I don't care.
Yeah.
And so all the non-binary people are showing that they are non-binary. Good for them. Moving on.
Well.
Okay.
Is there a separate flag? I've not seen that before.
Well,
It's
yeah,
black,
I have
purple and white.
I've never seen that one. I've seen the trans one with the blues in it, but apparently this is the new non-binary flag.
Oh, and
maybe?
yellow. Okay.
But
Interesting.
here's the thing. If gender is not real, or then how can you be non-binary?
Yeah, it doesn't seem to make sense.
Or well, maybe that does make sense. I don't know, but I don't care. Fuck. You know what? And here's I guess my you probably have never heard my take on pronouns. Pronouns are something that I use when I'm talking about you to somebody that's not you. As in I'm talking to somebody else, and as long as they understand what the hell who I'm talking about, that's all they're for. They're to simplify understanding, and I don't need it complicated anymore. Now, if I happen to know what your pronouns are, maybe I'll use them. If you're trans, I'll accept that. I will. If a trans woman is presenting like a woman, I'm going to say she, because that helps me save her when she's about to walk in front of a bus, and I say save her.
Oh, right.
But if you look like a man, but you are, you're a female, and you say you're a woman, not female, because female is a sex. If you say you're a woman, but you look like a man, and you're about to step in front of a bus, and I tell somebody, hey, save her, and they save you, instead of telling me your I said the wrong pronouns, just say thank you and shut the fuck up.
Yeah, look, if someone is cool, I might be more likely to do it. But any of this, like, you must, and I'm gonna make tranny jokes as like immediately. I'm not even. I mean, it's taken way too far with like Canada, and in California. If you are a nursing home worker, you must use pronouns, the correct ones, by threat of punishment.
Yeah. And I'm sorry. Guess what? There's gotta be some First Amendment issue there somehow. I mean, it's not like you're, I don't know. I mean, if you're intentionally trying to fuck with someone, that's just being rude. I understand that.
Yeah. Like if someone's abusing a patient, that's like, there's rules for that. And that should be obviously not tolerated.
God Emperor of Duncan. Good. That's exactly it. My pronouns are me, my, mine. Yeah. My pronouns are in my profile, by the way. In my Twitter profile, I have my pronouns in my Twitter file. My pronouns are I, me, my. because those are the only pronouns I use for myself. As long as if two people are talking about me across the street, what do I care? As long as they know who they're talking about, who gives a shit? Anyway, moving on. Life is Good is trending number 6. That's a new song dropped by Drake and Future. I'm not going to click it. I don't care. Good Friday's number 7. Munchin. Oh, Pompeo and Munchin are trending. Secretary of State Munchin announces new waves of economic sanctions against the Iranian regime. Oh, we'll listen to this one. Let's see what he says here.
Obviously, signing USMCA and a very strong economy this year. As previously announced by the president.
Hold on. Grillin' Pirate Pete. Captain. Arr. Okay, moving on.
Additional sanctions against the Iranian regime as a result of the attack on U.S. and allied troops. First, the president is issuing an executive order authorizing the imposition of additional sanctions against any individual owning, operating, trading with, or assisting sectors of the Iranian economy, including construction, manufacturing, textiles, and mining. And let me be clear, these will be both primary and secondary sanctions.
So I'm going to just stop there because if you're aware, the Iranian economy is already kind of screwed. I think a lot of the protests that they're having there, I don't know if you're aware of this. I said this the other day, but their inflation, I think over the last year has been 100%.
Oh my God.
As in everything's twice as much as it costs. And so, you have all these protests against the mullahs, the leaders of the country. And the Iranian government doesn't fuck around. They just start killing people, and they've killed 1,500 people over the last month or something like that. But there's the Iranian people are already, at least the young people, are pissed. And I don't know how you got to wonder how much longer the Iranian regime is going to last anyway.
Yeah. Hopefully not long.
So putting more sanction on them now, of course, then they say, oh, sanctions is an act of war. Well,
you can't do nothing. That's the thing. You can't do nothing if someone attacks you. I mean, I guess it's not suicide on the world stage because we have a large military, but I don't think that's a good move. See, this is the thing. I am of the impression that the people running Iran are crazy. So and maybe they're not. Maybe they're not. But so I don't. It just doesn't seem like they're going to come to the table no matter what. I hope I'm wrong about that. But
yeah, I don't know. I don't. Does negotiating with them really work?
So far
they'll sign something, but like Trump said the other day, they made this anti-nuclear deal, but then they were still doing other shit that had nothing to do with nuclear stuff that we should have been like, hey, stop that shit, or we're gonna. I think Reagan dealt with them pretty effectively. He just sank half their navy. And then they stopped fucking with us for a while.
Yeah.
They didn't need that. Now, granted, that was during the time when they were having their major conflict with Iraq, but still, hey, you want to fuck with us here? Here, half your navy's gone. Now, what are you gonna do? Why don't you focus on your own shit instead of us? Anyway, moving on. Munchin. So that's why Munchin, and I'm sure Pompeo's trending. Whatever. Moneybag. That's just that's something else that came out on sale now. That's usually the upcoming music, and Drake and Future trending. All right, Torian, I don't know what that is. Let's click that one and see what it is. Oh, there's a school shooting in Torian, Mexico, leaving 2 people dead. Now this is actual Mexico. Getting reports of a shooting at an elementary school in Torian, Mexico. Authorities say at least 2 people are dead, including the 12-year-old suspect.
Jeez.
The incident comes exactly 2 years after Mexico's deadliest school shooting in Monterrey. So, okay, we're not the only place that school shooting happens. Oh, I got one. Now, this is an actual... I got to make sure it's safe for work. Okay, this is an actual Twitter trend thought. Okay. Because what they do is they put all of the trending things that are currently trending in a row in their thing. And let's see, is it safe for work? It is safe for work. They put all of their trending Twitter handles or hashtags or whatever's trending in the thing, and then they say something like this. Oops, hang on, let me get the right one here. There we go. I'll put it on the screen a little bigger. Where are you, my good guy with a good dick? Call me. And then they put a picture that's, slightly risque. Now she's definitely got some
assets.
Yeah, there's a credit card slot there, and it's all good.
Absolutely.
So there you go. That is an actual hashtag ho, also known as a Twitter thought. Twitter trend thought, excuse me, and we usually find those at least one a day. So there you go. We found one. Good. Sad for Tory in Mexico. Here's the other thing. I want to check out what people are responding and see if there's anyone in here that is American that is talking about American school shootings, even though this happened in Mexico.
Right. That's a good point.
School shooting in Torreon, Mexico leaves 2 people dead, and it's another one putting young people in danger. This needs to stop. Now, is King from Mexico? Okay, no. Okay, that's some of the Michael Jackson thing. Anyone else here? When did kids shooting other kids at school become inevitable to the point of acceptance? Well, who's accepting it?
Yeah, no one's accepting it.
Let's see. Mexico has some of the most strict gun control laws in the world, even worse than the UK. And yet, wait, what?
I can't believe it.
I'm curious as if they really have the strict gun control laws in Mexico.
It's probably an enforcement issue.
Everybody has fucking guns in Mexico. Hell, the Attorney General of the United States was giving people in Mexico guns.
Yeah, that's true.
What kind of gun control laws can they have? Or what kind of gun control laws can they enforce with the cartels?
Right, exactly.
Give me a break. All the other kids with pumped up kicks, you better run faster than my bullet. That's not good. And there's our hashtag.
That's a risky business, that one.
Yeah. So anyway, there's another one. Hang on.
Oh, hey, you're right.
We got to make sure it's safe for work.
Yeah, Twitter is they give zero fucks right now.
Okay.
About that. Political stuff, obviously, those things.
All right. So this is our second hashtag how she's not as interesting at all, but the other one isn't either. They're never all that interesting, but anyway. All right.
It looks like she'll fuck your car up if things don't go well.
Right. Or maybe shoot up a school in Mexico. Anyway. All right. Jim Spanfeller, is this something stupid? Let's see. Everyone's saying a lot of rude things about our friend Jim Spanfeller here, but please remember that he's a strategic genius. Media sensational rise and fall of Jim Spanfeller is an herb. What the hell? Oh, there's our Friday. Anyone know? Okay, anyone know who Jim Spanfeller is? Because I'm not going to do any more research, split time research. All right, what else? Drake and Future, new music. Harold Burson is somebody that we don't know. Harold Burson, a true pioneer in public relations. Oh, he passed away, whoever he is. Let's see. Our thoughts are with his friends and family. Harold Burson, 1921 to 2020. So he's 99 years old. We celebrate his legend and legacy. We'll miss him very much. Who is he? Oh, here we go. The world's legendary PR pioneer. He's one of a public relations genius. Okay, except we don't know who he is. So how much of a genius can he be? Anyway, okay. Oh, did you hear about the lockdown? There was a lockdown at MacDill Air Force Base in Florida.
Yeah, it turned out not to be anything. It was like a false alarm. Is that correct?
Yeah, it looks like it. MacDill Air Force Base went on lockdown approximately 7 a.m. this morning due to a potential armed suspect near the Tankerway Gate area of MacDill Air Force Base. Local authorities are currently searching for the suspect. MacDill first responders are on the scene and have isolated the response to the Tankerway area. It turned out to be a false alarm.
Good.
So good. That's good. All right. That's why that's trending. Some to prove. That's probably something to music. Spirit Air System, and finally Friday. That's enough for Twitter trends today. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, first, let's see how many people we got here. We got 78 people here. We were up to almost 100 today. That's awesome. Hey, tell you what, gang, if you are new here, if you've never been here before, okay, please, on your way out the door today, hit the like button, or if you didn't like what you can hit dislike. I don't care. React to something. Hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down. I don't care which. And subscribe to the channel. We're here Monday through Friday, the Morning Night Live, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 3 p.m. GMT. Okay, I'm covering my bases all around the world here. And I got to thank that way, the guy over there. I'm pointing the right way. Yes, I am. I'm pointing the right. Thank you to HB. It says HNN, but it's Hard Bastard or the Hard News Network. He has 2 channels. And please, if you're in from my channel, not familiar with him, check the description down below. Click it, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell. His show's great. He does a lot of stuff. My favorite stuff that you do, HB, is your takedowns of Cenk Uygur, David Pakman, and Bald Fuckface. I can't even remember his name. Farron Cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had never even heard of that show until I've been watching you since I think that because you started right around the 2016 election, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like,
2016.
I was in like the first 5,000 people that
awesome
that started watching. We've been interacting since then here and there, but well, I really, really appreciate you coming today.
Anytime. Thanks for inviting me.
Makes it a lot of fun. Also, like I said, hit the like button on the way out the door. If you are watching this after fact, hit the share button. In fact, share this stream out. Follow me on Twitter at PDogKnight and retweet the show. I'm trying to grow, and hopefully you enjoyed what we did today and will want to come back. That's really all I got today, ladies and gentlemen. I am finished with my usual thing. My name is P Dog Knight, and I'm out of here. Have a great day.